All right, it's a beautiful Monday morning. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome to Landslide News. It's all been in the news, the insecurity in the nation. From Zamfara to Kebbi to Katsina to Kwara and all over. Recently, Borno. I mean, you can, within our country, insecurity. Our people went to, if I say our people, you know who I'm talking about. They went to the U.S. to seek for support. Now the U.S. have given their two conditions. The first one is release someone that is condemned because of killing someone, a Fulani man. His name is Jackson. They said Sunday Jackson. Say release him. Then the second one is that shows a blueprint of how you tackle insecurity. I don't think these are too much requests from the U.S. concerning our nation for them to request for. Let me start from you.
Yeah, I don't think you were very specific about the second condition, but let's just say the first condition is flat out clear.
Yes.
Release Sunday Johnson, who on self-defense was convicted to, is it life imprisonment?
No.
So how many years?
Death.
Was he dead? Okay, good. That was convicted to death.
Yeah.
It makes no sense that somebody, a court will suspend section 33(2)(a) of our 1999 Constitution. That court itself is essentially wrong. That judgment is wrong, no matter where you take it to, because the man was in his lawful duty in his farm.
Yes.
Then someone else is on unlawful duty, attacked him. He dispossessed the man who came to attack him of the weapon he came with.
Yes.
Overpowering him, then using his own weapon that he came with to fight him, and along the line it resulted to death. That is a pure self-defense. And even when you talk about reasonable force, I don't know how much I will blow you for you to die or not to die.
Yes.
The fundamental thing there is that I was in my own lawful duty. I was at peace working in my farm. You attacked me. You came with unlawful act, and with the equipment you came with, I was able to maneuver and dispossess you, and thereafter then you will die in the process. Then they decided to convict me to death. That, let me tell you, when US, I have told you that US will not arrive on their decision of being classifying Nigeria as a country of particular concern arbitrarily.
Yes.
There were domestication of what we are doing into the government for us to see. When you talk about government complicity, let me tell you, executive, legislature, judiciary, they are all governments.
Yes.
These are three co-equal arm of government. When the judiciary is seen to be complicit,
yes,
government is complicit.
Yes.
There are certain things you will do. It doesn't have to take a pronouncement of Asiwaju.
Yes.
No. The judgment that we have, mind the other day, Asiwaju himself was, I will use the word repudiation, was admonishing the judges. The people's expectation of your judgment is. So what is important is that even the judiciary, with their position, is sufficient to classify entire Nigerian government as being complicit in what is happening. That they do not know. It doesn't have to be something that came from executive arm of government
or legislature.
So that number one condition of freeing somebody who was in his farm is germane and simple. Two, the second one was disarming the Fulani militia. It's not just showing them only arrangement. Disarming the Fulani. Should anybody in Nigeria be reminded that if I organization like ISIS and all that, whatever swapping they are swapping to ISIS and all that, and our government democracy, that you want all these Western democracies to also have ambassadors and interact and work with you, to now work with you in that capacity when you have not proven that you are actually fighting this battle. What is so big? Okay, now let me give you an example. Let me not get ahead of us. The 38 people that were adopted in Kwara church were released. We don't know what happened to the terrorists that abducted them. Is that how to fight? So when they released, we don't know whether the release was by true negotiation and ransom, or the terrorist government has, even in being reactive. Let
me stop you there, because the place to which you are going, you will not stop, because there's palpable what do I call it now? You are just angry about so many things that are happening that you can see. Philip, the duty of the Nigerian military is to protect the territorial integrity of every nation. What has the failure of the Nigerian military cost our people?
Is it that the Nigerian military failure or the failure of the Nigerian government? I don't get it, because the Nigerian military are working for the Nigerian government. So if you hire a man to do a job and the man couldn't carry out the job effectively according to the terms of the contract or the job, what do you do to such a person?
You fire him.
I can't help but to also go back to the conditions America gave to partner with the Nigerian government to flush out the military. Not too long ago, the militant. Not too long ago, Nigeria was agog by sovereignty and whether the act of the Fulanis or the militant is against Christian or not. People will say, "Oh, it's not only Christian that have been, victimized. They are not at any threat whatsoever. And there is no genocide." Take the case of Sunday Jackson, who is a Christian, who is in his farm. To think that America had this record in their pocket, is it not surprising to you? That's a clear record of a genocide against Christian. So it shows that the America has established the fact that there's a genocide against Christian with evidence, because Sunday Jackson is still languishing in prison, waiting to be executed because he was sentenced to death for the fact that said that they claimed that he committed murder. That is one. Now coming to the issue of this militant Fulani that are armed everywhere in this Abuja where you are, in the evening when you are driving, you will see Fulani with cutlass and all of that. And there's this law in this country, like you referred to before. There's what we call unlawful possession of arms and ammunition. That cutlass that Fulani man is fronting everywhere. I'm not even talking about the AK-47 and all that they're carrying along, the day gun, because we can't forget for just too recently in Uromi, the Edo State youths in Uromi, because of what is happening in their forest, they caught a bus full of arm and all that, and they took the law to their, because the government are not going to do anything, and they said, "Oh, these were hunters traveling from where to where with what numbers of arms." Now, to the question you asked me, is the failure of the military hadn't failed. It is the government that has failed. The government hadn't done nothing. Like the question he posed, this adopted the 38 Catholic Christ Apostolic Church member who lawfully went to worship their God in their church that were adopted, that they are not celebrating as a step in the right direction, that the Nigerian president is doing all he can to secure peace in this country, were released. How were they released? We were not told whether this militant, this kidnapper were exterminated, they were liquidated. No, we just saw the people looking tired. Like I saw a video this morning on Channel. Look tired, they can't walk. It means they have been stressed. Nothing showed. All we had that they have been released. Not too long ago, RFI told us that the relative peace you are saying in Kaduna South is that
being paid for.
Is being paid for, and also said that the so-called repentant terrorists, kidnappers in Kaduna, they have gone back to terrorize, and within 1 month they have stolen over 30 cows, and they've been on rampage. And these are people who claim to be repentant of, and they are being, because it's a complete failure on the part of government. If the Kwara State is on a border point with another country, and you feel that country is a threat to you, what do? You have the immigration, you have the custom, you have the police, you have the army, you have the air force working in that axis, and you know that this thing, for instance, if you go to America, Texas is a border town between Mexico, and Mexico is a threat to America because American immigration. You see the wall they built around it. What step has the government taken?
All right. I want to read what one of the captors of the Eruku village in Kwara State said. It really bothered me when he wrote about it. He said, due to their strong control of the area, he said it was unimaginable, because when we got there, we really knew that it was a dominated area. He said, I'm talking about the military. And I'm talking about the safeguarding of our borders. There is the president, there's the military. Now, the military is under the executive arm. The military has a constitutional mandate to secure the territory of Nigeria. Now, Philip doesn't agree with me that the military has failed. He's saying the federal government has failed. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I will align myself with Philip completely. And what you read, I actually listened to the man say it, the young man. I listened to him. I heard that when he was saying. He says it's a dominated area. Then when you get there, you'll be sure that, there's nowhere to live. People having a dominated area is a breach on our sovereignty. The sovereignty we're crying about when Trump tweeted what has now made us to start looking like we want to be serious. Yeah. We lost sovereignty already. Over 20. Who is the commander-in-chief? Is the president. Now, the ultimate maneuvering and arrangement of the entire security lies with the National Security Advisor's Office. They coordinate the entire thing. What do I mean? Do you see these Fulani militias? A well-equipped police force would defeat them to arrest a criminal. A well-equipped police force with how do I describe it? With modulated powers. You have been given mandate to go and work. Nobody's going to tell you for political reasons, for religious reasons, don't do it. With clearly modulated powers, a well-equipped police force will disarm this Fulani militia in 30 days and clean up the entire Nigerian spaces. So it is of the federal government, military or not. The federal government that brings in military to rig election or win election or conduct election peacefully. Who is in charge? Can you say it's a military failure?
Are you saying that the police is not well equipped?
No. Yes.
But we saw them at PDP secretariat.
That's what I'm telling you.
They were well equipped.
That's for that purpose. That's what I'm telling you. Let me tell you. No police officer today in advanced country rely on walkie-talkie that the frequency is not jammed. You have to jam the entire frequency and leave one. The one that is only work. Not once you jam them, they don't go with that heavy boot again. They have full kit with workable sneakers. As you are going, the drone is ahead of you, surveilling the place, telling you it has time of security today. What of the recognizer survey? Go ahead, see who they are, see what they are doing. No, understand what you can do. Even know whether you can use sleeping gas on them. Decide on what to. Those are police maneuvering work. Do you understand? They can do that. But the truth is that you can't remove government. They know these things better than us. You can't remove government from that failure and go and pick the military. We saw we saw that. So is that soldier you want to blame? People dying? Are you going to blame Brigadier General Musa? Who are you going to blame?
The echelon of the Nigerian.
His chart was really compromised. So what are we saying? Let me tell you, when the American government classified us, classification of Nigeria as a country of particular concern in another language means complicity of government in the evil that is happening.
All right, we have it in almost every state. I don't want to be on the exaggerative level, maybe in every local government in Nigeria as it is today. In my area, Edo State, the tail part of Edo State, we have it. I mean, there's no, how can we dislodge these people in every part? How did they transport all around the whole place? Are the security apparatus that we have, are they sleeping?
You see, Okafor had touched it very clearly that if we have well-equipped police force, we don't have to cry over this, this story of dominated area. Well, how is it dominated area? It is on record that an aide to the defense, who was the former governor of Zamfara State, put it clearly that the present minister of defense had a part with the bandit for the purpose of election, and that election he went for, he even loses it. So what does that tell you? There's this domination of this bandit in every area, as you rightly put it, especially in the northern region, because the politician, the elite, needs them, to get themselves remain in power. We were told by El Rufai that what seems to be a peace in Kaduna South today, that the city governor is paying over $1 billion to them to secure the peace. And he said it's a federal government policy, I'm quoting Erofai, that is not just in Kaduna State. He called it, there's a word he used, like it can't register in my head now. That's what they're doing, that's the policy. He said, when you handle these people with, with levity, this is what you get. You see, the reason why they have domination is that the elite, by extension the government, is working with them. Now take the case of the Kwara abductee. The question we are asking ourselves, that that is begging for answer: how do these abductee were rescued? Were they released? Were they rescued? And a victim have come to say that the kidnapper made it clear to them that there's no escape proof for them, so they shouldn't try to escape. And he confirmed that when they got there, they saw for themselves
that every exit and entry were condoned of.
So, and you have the government in place.
Okay. For the size of Texas region, the size of Texas region is far bigger than Nigeria as a country. Just Texas region, which is like one state. How come?
They said the size of Texas region.
Texas state.
Texas state. No, it's not bigger than Nigeria.
No, the region.
Okay. We thought that's neighboring state. Texas alone is not bigger than Nigeria.
The region is far bigger than Nigeria. Now, if you look at it that way, they make sure their borders are well protected. Their borders are well guided. Of course, there can be security lapses here and there, drugs coming in, cartels and all that. But this one, Nigeria is a state where we can marshal every exit and entry.
You are one of the advocates of this. Internal security should be by the police.
Definitely.
Let's just assume a simple scenario. Even with the we have lost a lot of soldiers. Let's not deny this. But even as it is now, we deploy, we equip our police to face internal security. We have had records that some of these militias, from their language, from the way they behave, from the way they kill. Do you see how they kill? We have had riots in Nigeria, Kaduna, everywhere. We don't see people bust somebody's brain out. Some things that you can't even look at.
Imagine.
It smash people's brain, cut. We don't do that. We don't do that. You see truly that these are foreigners. They are angry foreigners who have no emotional attachment to Nigeria a second. When you see the way some of them kill. We have our military safeguard our border. This is a border we're supposed to have custom, immigration, and other. Have our military safeguard our border. So they are supposed to be for territorial integrity. Get police to deal with all that is inside. Not using an army to litter checkpoints between here to Awuchi. Meanwhile, these same bandits will still carry their arm into a Kitty local government forest of a Kwara state. How do they carry their arms? Are they ferried by helicopter? You see, we need to first of all take care of that our border. Those are the areas where our military powers are well needed.
But there are things that are not imaginable. If you have a 300 people moving, 300, you cannot say you can cite 300.
And let me tell you, do you know the annoying thing? These people, particularly in the north, they came with Okada. Convoy of Okada attack and use the convoy of Okada to go back. I mean, how do you explain that? Who are you going to explain? And they video it and send it, put it on internet. And we can't. And let me tell you, we can't even trace the handle where short video was first posted. But if it was a tweet from somewhere in Port Harcourt, the person will be arrested. If you see, we have to.
I don't know if you heard the reverend that has been talking on social media from Plateau State, Jos. All his social media, they are being incapacitated. They are dismantled. Now, I don't know if you heard about that.
I'm just hearing for the first. About going back to Kebbi State, some of his children escaped. And some of the children escaped, and they told the story how they escaped. How do they escape? They said they were loaded into trucks, and they were being driven away to only God know where. And one of the trucks break down, and those who are a little bit grown up jumped down and ran away to the bush, and they were not followed. The question is, where is the Nigerian security apparatus? Because the vehicle broke down. The child said that, and the other one left with bike, and few persons were left to maintain the vehicle before they continue the journey. And you said this information is out in the public domain that children had been kidnapped. Are they not police in Niger State?
So they were not looking for them.
Are they not Air Force in Niger State? Are they not Army in Niger State? So when they heard the news that they were kidnapped, what were they doing? And we were told that Governor Bago went to the Emirate Palace. He never went to the scene of the crime. He said because the children had been taken away, nobody there to visit them. And the parents of who are victims of the kidnapping said that we are here waiting to hear from our children. Nobody is to give us any information. And Bago is saying that there are nobody here.
Okafor, are we trying to say that a big truck of that nature must have been that is motorable?
Exactly. That is motorable.
No police checkpoint, no army checkpoint, no checkpoint. Moving freely. That's about 50 of them. So you could have had.
But if you carry a luggage you want to sell, a lawful luggage you want to sell, the police safety will stop you. Yes. VIO will stop you. Army will stop you. Custom will stop you. Custom will be in Kaduna. That is why I love that judgment that came out of Kaduna one time, where they asked custom to not be able to seize anybody's vehicle once they are inside. Custom will go to Kaduna to seize somebody's vehicle that he didn't pay. He didn't pay duty. But the vehicle was delivered. It was released by a custom officer.
You are talking about that case. You know what happened? They went into the market and confiscated bags of rice that they were customized goods. Where were they when they passed through the border?
You see, we have to be serious. We have to. In Nigeria, law enforcement agents are stronger, chasing actually those who are doing about their normal business, looking for one small infringement on the other. Okay, they are more interested in that than the terror that is really destroying us in this country.
By day, not even by night.
Carry anything, carry your legitimate, carry foam, buy foam, load it into a pickup. Try to move from Gwagwalada. You see how many different kind of law enforcement that will stop you. Now, you are going about your normal business.
There are a lot of questions that beg for answers. Zamfara State, Kebbi State. Kebbi now, the 28, nobody's talking about.
The
24, nobody's talking about.
Escape.
Sahara reporter reported about the Minister of Defense and gave us evidence. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's probing into it. Kwara State, they've just been released. Nobody's telling us what happened in Kwara State.
Yes.
Were they paid for? Where are the captors?
The dominated area.
Where is it?
The dominated area the victim was talking about.
To further, complicate things for you, the former Minister of Information, Jerry Gana, just, give us an insight what is happening, because we cannot but accuse the elite and the government, because what he said is very important, and we need to take it seriously. He said, with the threat from the American government, the terrorists, they have taken a new dimension, with the fear that there's tension that America might likely globally attack. What they are not doing, what their new strategy is to kidnap, these children, then they will use them as human shield when America eventually comes. This is why the government is complicit. They are in this issue. Because I don't have the information that there's likelihood of America attacking.
Now, Pabio told us that the reason for increased kidnaps and abduction is because the Americans came in. That's number one. The president of the nation has refused or has not commented on any of these issues. Now, these people that we have asked to lead us, when a leader doesn't talk and the other one talk very bad, where do the people go? 1 minute, Okafor.
The people have to hold their government accountable. Closing down schools means that we are giving out the gift.
I wish
it means that we are giving out the gift. Gift to the terrorists.
Talk about that, because it's not a good thing to close that.
Let me tell you. That's why I said the government is aware, or is part of the plan for the kidnappers to kidnap kids as human sheep.
So who's running from who?
So let's give government. The American government gave them 2 assignments. Let's give them 1 more assignment on this Kwara.
Yes.
The victims said
that
the place they took them to was a dominated area, a territory that the bandits have carved out for themselves. We are challenging our security forces to show us either the video of decimating that dominated area, that part is also part of our sovereignty. We want to see it.
All right. A lot of questions. Our time is not too friendly. We have to go now. We'll be right back.